Hello everyone and welcome back to another Poppy Builds video. Oh yay. Today I am in the Windenburg world, in a place that I don't particularly play in often just because I genuinely forget that it exists and end up in like Willow Creek instead. So that's the concept. But I'm here in Windenburg and I'm remodeling the Cottage Am See house. This house belongs to two Sims and two girls. One's an artist and one's a writer. I also remodeled them too. I just gave them like an update on their clothes to kind of match the vibe I was going with this a little bit slightly more renovated house, but otherwise relatively traditional. Obviously, as a remodel, I pretty much stripped it to its bones. The only thing that I kept that I thought was really cool was the window and the room that's going to be for the writer. Don't remember the names of the Sims as I am terrible. I know Penny Pizzazz and that's like it. The land grabs. Like, I'm not the best. I'm getting better, but I cannot, again, because I don't play in this specific space because I always forget about it. I also forget about the Sims that live in this and exist in this little alcove. So we're just gonna call it Writer Sim and Artist Sim. Anyway, I think when I remember reading their descriptions, I think they met at like school or something and are pursuing their careers. They must have rich careers because this house is absolutely massive, or maybe it was inherited and they share the space, who knows. I did want to keep a little bit of the rustic, slightly medieval vibe to it. I know I'm absolutely wrong, like so wrong saying that, but I can't remember the specific architectural design of like the exterior of this house. And I'm not going to. So I tried to keep a little bit of that vibe in this house by having slightly more worn floors and slightly older wallpaper. So I wanted the house itself to seem a bit old, but with a bit modernized furniture and very also personalized furniture for the Sims, which I quite like, and I hope you do too. Now down here we are going to be in the first floor space. This is going to have a bathroom, an absolutely massive kitchen, and a living room. So that's going to be the space for this whole entire house. I'm genuinely content with how it turned out. As you can see, I'm just trying to make everything match on the exterior whilst slightly modernizing it. And then up here we're going to have 2 bedrooms and then 2 bathrooms, 1 writing room and 1 painting room. So upstairs each of them have 3 rooms expressly for themselves, not shared, and then a little common hallway / chillaxing room. Yeah, I did find it a little tough. I found it so tough to find any matching windows for the doors. The answer is I didn't find any. This was recorded and built way before the base game update with new window swatches, and thinking about it now, I'm still not 100% certain these update window swatches would match the back of these like windows with stained glass on them. The doors with stained glass on them. I haven't checked, but I'm not like 100% confident on it if we're being honest. So I had to I had to settle with these like almost matching windows and just let it be, because I thought black and white were too ostentatious in this build and just genuinely didn't suit it. So I scrapped it and went with as close of a color as I could go. Also for the kitchen space, as you can see, I added the stained glass windows. I really wanted to have like pay homage to that, and I quite liked having them and keeping them in the space. Because again, it's a modernized but old space. That's the whole vibe. Also, when we get to the writer's room, that is not a modernized room. That is a very, very traditional room, and that's very intentional. So for the bathrooms, I just went with brown and simple. Nothing fancy, nothing special. That's that. The bathroom downstairs was very boring. I didn't do anything super fancy with it because it's a bathroom. Like, they're never really super fancy unless you're in a super rich home and you can use like all of that cool stuff. And when I say cool stuff, I mean hot tub, laundry room, that type of stuff. Honestly, there could have probably been a laundry room in this space. Kind of glad I didn't have one. I just think it was nice just to have a bit more of a simple vibe to it. And then in this bottom, not this specific bathroom, but in the bottom bathroom, I just kept it very simple, and the bottom floor, the first floor or ground floor, dependent on where you're from, is a mesh of both of their personalities, whilst their rooms are so uniquely them. They're not matchy-matchy, they're just good friends with very unique tastes. And because, again, there's like an artist living in this home, I wanted there to be just like a touch of a few cute, kooky things that don't necessarily fit but make it feel like a home. And I really liked having all of that stuff in there. As you can see, this bathroom was for the artist, so I added a few of those artistic things. Not artistic, but yeah, artistic things. They're figurines, they're designs, they're art. So she's got them in her bathroom and I really like them. If I ever found that like fish play mobile, I'm not sure what you would call a hanging fish thing. Art. And if I ever found fish art like that, I would probably buy it. Not necessarily like fish art like on the wall, because that would kind of creep me out. Not gonna lie. That's just me. But I really do, that's the whole entire vibe. I also wanted to give her, in this room, this is the artist's room, a very light and very intentional design. I wanted it to be quite green and blue, just to be a very calming and welcoming space. I absolutely do think I encapsulated that in this build. Don't know why I just said encapsulated like that. That was quite weird. I'm gonna move on from that. But I think it turned out really nice and is a really cute build. I also, in this whole entire house, didn't go too crazy with clutter. One, because it's a massive house. It doesn't seem big, it is so big. I could have easily fit like 15 rooms in here at like a smaller size, smaller scale obviously, but I didn't. So, because I gave them all like extra space, but this is a massive house. Now what I did in this little corner, this is her art room, this is where she paints. And also does like maybe graphic work on her computer and like thinks and stuff. So this is her space. Very awesome, very chill. I really love this room, to be honest. I really vibe with the very light green pastel content in her space. And the addition of these overhanging lights, 10 out of 10, really made the space for me. I really liked her room. I did find it a bit, and when I say a bit, I found it a lot tougher to do the other bedroom because I wasn't 100% sure initially what I wanted to do with it. I knew, again, I wish I had had the base game update when I did this, because these curtains are the ideal size but not necessarily the ideal color. And I could have maybe used a different type of curtain from the base game update that could have suited this space better. But we're working with what we've got at this moment in time. So I'm not going to hate on it. It is what it is. It took me a while to figure out where I wanted the bed, but I wanted her space to be brown. I wanted it to be a lot more dark and moody than the artist space. It wasn't like an intentional opposites attract. they're just friends, they're good friends, and they have different aesthetics, that's that. I definitely do think it would be fun to do an opposites apartment one day. That's also on my list. I need to start writing these things down. Also, do get excited. If you are watching this in 2021, get ready. At the end of October, October 31st, I'm going to be coming out with a very spooky video where I build a house based on a specific children's tale. I'm very excited for it. I have this whole entire envisionment in my head, and it is going to be genuinely so much fun. So get excited for that. And if you are watching this anytime after 2021, you can find it on my channel in a playlist I will be creating called like Children's Tales Builds. I'm also planning on building like Snow White's home and Princess Tiana's home and like Jasmine's home and like all of that stuff. So I'm very excited for that, so get excited too. But for now, the first one of that kind is going to be a spooky Halloween intended build, which I'm so excited for. I was not excited to do this room. It was hard. It looks like an easy layout. It's not. It wasn't. It was difficult to figure out where to put the dressers and all of that stuff because the room's actually genuinely a lot skinnier than I thought it was going to be. So because it was so skinny, I did struggle figuring out where I could put things in this room to actually make it a fluid layout. Also, as a writer, I wanted there to be like tons of bookcases in her space, but at an aesthetic type. So even though I wish there had been more bookcases, I added them in her like little workspace, which turned out better. And I also do like that she has a chair in her bedroom because she definitely needed like a little reading nook where she could just chill and read in absolute silence. So definitely a nice brown vibe. I also obviously did a different color swatch for the wallpaper, which I really think suits it. The yellow and brown obviously work well together. And of course I gave her a degree in like English. That's her degree. Or communication, creative writing, something arts. I'm not sure if communication's arts, so scratch that. She got a degree in a type of art, as in writing, or maybe editing, something like that. So that's the vibe. And then I did add another bookcase. Yay! She needed more bookcases, okay? The writer needed more bookcases. That's that. That's her room. This here is going to be her little writing space. So she doesn't have a like entry into the space like directly from her bedroom, but it's her room to do with as she wants. And I just relatively mimicked what I did for the painting easel room, but for a writer I did give them both computers because that to me made total sense. And then I just threw some random oval words up here just to make her look, I don't know, very like hoity-toity writer. Maybe she's got a lot of writing awards. That's kind of the vibe I was trying to go with in her specific space. Like, she's very proud of the awards she's won. And then like the artist has all of these awards too, and they're like shoved in a drawer. That's what I'm kind of thinking. Because in my mind they met in college, so they have like their degrees, but she's very proud of them. And the artist is like, okay, it's just a piece of paper, let me have it, but put it away. That's me. That is my life. But she proudly displays them, and I think that kind of really suits the vibe of who the sim I think she is and what she would do in her like writing space. She would present her awards very proudly, as you should be. But I just tried to keep her space quite chill with a little bit of a pop to make sure it didn't like make it like too dark and gloomy. So it was still a nice space to work, but also chillax in. So she has another working chair and it works very well in this space. Here's just a little leeway, tiny chair space I added. in retrospect, because I added it outside, it's not a big deal. In retrospect, this space up here really would have done well with a chess set. There are a few things I think I wouldn't have minded changing about this space, but overall, I'm still quite content with it. Because it really does, to me, play well with the style of the original house, again, with a bit more of a modernized vibe to it. Again, I just can't remember the specific architectural name for it. If you know it, please comment down below. But that was the vibe I was going with. Now, this is going to be the living room. For the living room, I wanted it to be a mesh of their styles. As I said before, the whole downstairs area is a combination of both of them, but the living room definitely encapsulates that idea the most. So it's a little bit more modern than both of their bedrooms, whilst still having this very cozy feeling to it. It's very like slightly prim and proper, like the writer is in my mind, whilst having like that artistic vibe to it, like the artist would want in her own home. Am I proud of this room? Yes, I very much like it. Even though it's very simple. Like, this just looks like a living room. Yeah, well, I thought about it, okay? I did. It's a cute living room, that's all we can say, and I quite like it. And I was able to, I love adding all of these new paintings, which as time goes on, they're no longer going to be new. This is still a relatively new painting. I love the colors in it. It's so beautiful. I think it's, so I just love adding all of these new paintings. It makes me so happy. I got to add one in that living room, and that's the living room done. Those floating candles are from the second floor. They're not just there, FYI. Now this is the kitchen. For the kitchen, I wanted the cabinets to be more traditional, like older. That's what I think of when I see these cabinets. And I have to say, I assume you agree, because that's really what they vibe with. And I was quite lucky because I hated the placement of this window initially. Exteriorly, it looked fine. Interior-wise, it didn't. But having that fridge there really helped offset it and actually make the window look centered. So I am content with how it ended up. But initially, I was not a happy camper about it. So those cabinets are relatively, like, distinguished, slightly old, and really fit the vibe of the house. And then we have definitely, again, the whole kitchen is definitely old. It's meant to be. I really like how it looks. I think the windows match the door, and it all works well together. But initially, that window, whew, I was not a happy camper. Not a happy camper. So as you can see in the kitchen, very muted, very chill, very traditional to the home that it's trying to, like, be in, if that makes sense. That maybe didn't make sense. Moving on. It's okay. And then this, I did struggle a little bit trying to figure out what to do in this dead space, relatively so. It's definitely a hallway, it's a transition space. I wanted to demonstrate that with the transition between wood to tile, but it was difficult figuring out what to make of it. So I just threw in, this to be fair, this builds a lot of like throwing in things to see if it works and then being surprised that they do. Like the bedrooms, I had an intentional design. Well, mostly, not as much with the writing room, but once I started being like, it's gonna be dark brown, I ran with it. But this space was tough. I had no idea what to do with this entryway space because it frustrated me immensely that it was just dead space. Like I wanted to well utilize the space in this home. And so I don't think I used the space as well as it could have been in this whole entire build. Do I think this remodel is a little cooler than the original? Yes. I like what I did. I mean, I made it. I'm happy with how it turned out. Do I wish I knew the name of this design aspect? Yes. Will I Google it later? 50-50. I will figure it out eventually, but sometimes you just can't know. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna Google it later. I just can't remember right now. And as you can see, added a chess set in the back. So the exterior is not much design. The house itself is just so beautiful that like it didn't really need a lot of landscaping. I did do a little bit of pond because I wanted a pond. I wanted there to be a little pond, and I'm happy with it. 10 out of 10, very happy. Maybe 7 out of 10. I'm quite content with it, but I just wanted to spruce up the space and make it definitely intentionally look a little bit different. But it didn't need a lot of landscaping, if we're being honest. The house takes up most of the land. It looks nice, and it's a very statement house. God, I don't know what this style is, but that is that. We will figure it out together later. So welcome to the Cottage Am See remodel for an artist and a writer. Welcome to the entryway, slight dead space. This is my least favorite part of the room, sadly. Ooh, and right up immediately, we are going into the second floor. Nice, simple, chill lounge room. And then our awesome brown, intense, moody bedroom for the writer. I love where her bed is situated. I'm happy with all of the choices I made for this space. It just took a while to get there. Bathroom, simple, plain, thumbs up. Yes, I'm really happy with that bed. I think it looks awesome with that little bay window in the back. And then through here is the writer's room with a computer, place to relax, love it. And here is the artist's room, a lot more light, airy, with green and blue vibes to it, and a lot more like creative designs to it, like those lights, the hanging plants, all of that. Her bathroom, simple, and then her painter's studio. Very simple again, but I love the lamps in it, let's be honest. I think those are so cute. So that's the second floor with our 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Welcome back down to the first floor. Here is our bathroom, average. Our pretty awesome living room. I'm quite content with how this looked out. Move along if the TV's cut off. Move along. Oh, that painting, those colors make the room look so much cooler. And here is our kitchen. It's a massive kitchen for this space, and I do absolutely love it. And out here we are in our backyard with a tiny little pond. And that's the whole entire remodel. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I post every Friday. Don't forget to subscribe if you see what you like. Bye!